Winneba here at the North Campus of the Student Forecourt. Today we are outside here at the forecourt of the Student Center having the Uewabs Business Challenge from the School of Business. I have Mr. Samuel here with the contestant. But before we go to him, I want to say a very big thanks to the technical team who have made this possible. Mr. Samuel, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Today, what is the expectation?
Okay, the expectation is to see whether adaptive or expressive will take the day, and also to educate our listeners on some new concepts in business.
That's great. So we are going to educate you on some new concepts in the business. So as usual, we are waiting for your response on our Facebook page, or you can follow us on www.uew.edu.gh. On Facebook or Radio Winneba 98.3 FM. I hand over to Mr. Samuel Gajo.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to Uewabs Businesses Challenge, live on Radio Winneba 98.3. We are streaming live on our WhatsApp, Facebook handle, Radio Winneba 98.3 FM, and also at the university website www.uew.edu.gh. Today's theme, we have expressive and adaptive. Their names are coming from the 5 key types of strategies. Apart from the expressive and adaptive, we have the linear, we have the interpretative, and we have the transcend. That is the highest form of strategic management. So adaptive basically looks at the organization drafting their strategies to ensure that as and when things changes, they adapt to those tactics. And expressive try to be more proactive, so it's a step ahead of adaptive in terms of the strategic management line. Let's see, only time will tell whether adaptive or expressive will take the day. The program is proudly brought to you by the School of Business, with technical support from all the departments from the School of Business, namely the Department of Accounting, Department of Applied Finance and Policy Management, Department of Management Sciences, Department of Marketing and Entrepreneurship, Department of Procurement and Supply Chain Management, and also the Uewabs, that is the student body of the School of Business. Without wasting my time, I would like our contestants to introduce themselves. I'll start from adaptive. It's represented by
Simon Ahalija, BBA Accounting Level 400.
Felix Blay, Bachelor of Science, Accounting Education Level 200.
accounting and accounting education. What are your expectations?
So we are here to do our best, and then we believe that God will crown our effort with success.
Amen. They are here to do their best, and they believe that God will crown their efforts with success. Expressive team is represented by
Gordon Joshua, BBA Accounting Level 300.
Offering Anna James, Accounting Level 400.
Great. So what are your expectations, Ufori?
Say as our name suggests, the highest form of strategic management, so we hope to live by our name.
It's not yet the highest form. The highest form of strategic management is the transcend strategy, but they are a step higher than the adaptive. Let's see. Only time will tell. Today's contest it will be run in 5 rounds. The first round, that's theory. They'll be giving questions in all the areas in business, and it will require them to answer it within 10 seconds. And a bonus question would attract a mark of 1, whilst a major question answered correctly will attract a marks of 3 points. Round 2 is calculations, where they'll be giving practical questions in business. A correct answer will attract a mark of 3, and a bonus will attract a mark of 1. Round 2, they've already been given a case study. That was a 30-page case study. They've presented their PowerPoint. So in round 3, the expectation is that they will present their PowerPoint for us to award them the mark. And round 4A is the business news segment, where questions are asked on all the business news that took place on the Radio Winneba throughout the week. Round 4B is the true or false segment, and round 5 is the riddles. Without wasting my time, are you ready? Are you ready? Obiniyim. Okay, so let's start. Round 1. Round 1. Okay, let me start from my right. Expressive. Your major question. An IT professional wanted an off-the-shelf software as he was not interested in bespoke software for his bank. State any three differences between bespoke software and off-the-shelf software. An IT professional wanted an off-the-shelf software as he was not interested in bespoke software for his bank. State any three differences between bespoke software and on-the-shelf software.
Okay, so one of the differences is that for bespoke software, it is developed to fit the specific need of the customer, whilst the off the shelf is not developed to fit the specific needs. The second one is this bespoke software is much expensive, while the off shelf is not expensive.
Thank you very much. That's correct for 3 points. So, adaptive, your major question. Adaptive. Do you know topology? Okay, so the topology of a network refers to the logical layout or shape of the network. It describes the manner in which the various components of computers are physically connected. You are to describe any three local area topologies and suggest which one will be most appropriate for a bank. So topology of a network refers to the logical layout or shape of the network. It describes the manner in which the various computers are physically connected. Describe any three local area network topologies and suggest which one will be the most appropriate for a bank.
So one, we have the star topology, and then we also have a ring topology. So the star topology refers to a type of topology whereby interrelated networks in a defined or confined area work together for then a ring topology also talks about a type of topology whereby
Is that your final answer? Your time is even up. So I'll award them 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. So we have the star, the ring, and the bus. But for a bank, the star is the most appropriate. For a bank, the star is the most appropriate. Okay, expressive, your major question. Distinguish between command economic system and a market economic system. Distinguish between command economic system and a market economic system.
Okay, so for a market economic system, it's a type of economic system where resources are allocated to competing parties. That is to say, even the prices are commanded by demand and supply. For the command, that one, the decisions are made by a central authority. That is to say, the government.
That is correct for 3 points. Adaptive, your major question. Explain any three features of a market economy. Any three features of a market economy.
So,
Just state any three features of a market economy.
so the means of production is controlled by one. There's competition. Two, and there is in the means of production is determined by the private individual, and the price also is also determined by the private
That
individual.
is correct for 3 points. That is correct for 3 points. Okay, so your major question, expressive. Revenue management is the approval of revenue, collection of approved revenue, and custody of the revenue collected. Mention any three responsibilities of a public officer in charge of revenue collection. You are to mention any three responsibilities of a public officer in charge of revenue collection.
Okay, so the first one is to ensure the first one is to develop control system that will help in the effective collection of the revenues. The second one is to ensure greater accountability, and also the third one is to pay the revenue to the consolidated account or the specified account by the government or the constitution.
Okay, so I'll give you 2 out of 3. So I was expecting you. He's responsible to issue an original receipt to the payer and treat the duplicate and triplicate in accordance with the requirements of the departmental accounting instructions. He's also expected to issue the government of Ghana counterfeit receipts to collection of revenue and also cross on closed checks and pay all monies collected to the public fund. So that's what the point you mentioned. That's why I gave you 2 out of 3. Adaptive, your major question. Explain how a contingent liability will be treated under accrual accounting and under cash accounting basis. How would a contingent liability will be treated under cash accounting and accrual accounting?
So contingent liability will be treated under accrual accounting as an expense with respect to the period in which it is related to, and but for cash accounting, it will not be treated if it is not a cash component.
I'll give you 1 out of 3. I'll give you 1 out of 3. So for a contingent liability, it will be disclosed in the notes to the financial statement in accrual accounting. But for cash accounting, there is nothing like contingent liability. So your major question, expressive, your major question. You are to mention any 3 broad parenting styles an organization might adopt according to the Gold and Campbell. Any 3 broad parenting styles an organization might adapt according to Gold and Campbell.
Okay, so there are 3 broad parenting styles. We have financial control, strategic control, and strategic planning.
Excellent for 3 points. Adaptive, your major question. According to Gray, Owen, and Adams, 7 position on social responsibility. Which position is dominant in the world of accounting and finance? According to Gray, Owen, and Adams' 7 position of social responsibility, which position is dominant in the world of accounting and finance? Your time is up. Bonus to expressive.
Simply, the answer is pristine capitalist.
Excellent. It's pristine capitalist and it's correct for 1 point. So your major question, expressive. A discourse in which reasons are advanced for and against a proposition is said to be a discourse in which reasons are advanced for and against a proposition is said to be.
Absolute discourse.
No. Bonus to team adaptive.
Academic discourse.
It is a debate. It is a debate. So your major question, adaptive. A model of communication which portrays communication as a one-way activity that goes along a straight line from the sender to the receiver is known as. A model of communication which portrays communication as a one-way activity that goes along a straight line from the sender to the receiver is known as.
It is known as simplest.
No. Bonus to expressive.
Lateral communication.
Come again.
Lateral communication.
That is correct. Lateral communication is correct. So the last set, starting from expressive, you are to itemize any 3 functions of the Office of the Auditor General of Ghana. Any 3 functions of the Office of the Auditor General of Ghana.
Okay, so the first one is to conduct audit on all public funds. The second one is to perform audits that are authorized by the Parliament of Ghana, and then the third one is to ensure sound financial reporting in the public sector?
So I'll give you 1 out of 3. So first of all, he is responsible for financial and regulatory audit, economy and efficiency audit, and also effectiveness audit. Effective, and also the last one is value for money audit. So that's what he does. The last question for the round goes to Team Adaptive. Adaptive, your major question. As list any 3 problems of the Public Accounts Committee in the audit process of Ghana. What are the 3 major challenges the Public Accounts Committee poses to the audit process in Ghana?
Um, since P, PA, Public Account Committee is a legislative body, so it is more or less influence the uh, judgment of the auditor, and there might be.
Okay, your time is up. Bonus to Team Expressive.
We have lack of competent staff for the lack of competent staff for the committee. We have corruption and also large scope of work.
For a bonus, I will not give it to you. For a bonus, I will not give it to you. So the answers are, so if there is any political instability, because the members of the Public Account Committee are from the various political parties, it can affect their work. Again, the financial statements are often examined in arrears. So they examine the financial statement when the issues have already occurred, and it's a problem. So the only thing they could do is to recommend for them to be prosecuted. By which time, majority of the errors have been made. Again, some of the members of the committee are not specialized in finance and accounting, so it could hamper the progress, and also lack of cooperation and information from the expected facilitated is also one of it, and resolutions are always not implemented. So these are the challenges, and that brings us to the end of round 1. The program is still brought to you by the School of Business, Uewabs, and Radio Winneba 98.3 FM. Today's contest is between adaptive strategy and expressive strategy. Amina, do you have any message for us?
Yes, we have a message, but before they want to remind the audiences that we are here at the University of Education, Winneba North Campus, at the forecourt of the Student Center. So we are reading your messages from Radio Winneba 98.3 FM live on Facebook. Victoria Adisi says, more fire. Richmond Eduardo says, let the violence begin. This promises to be an exciting context. Ohima Ifria said, heat on heat. We have Anna Okran says she's watching live on Radio Winneba 98.3 FM. Freeman Aqua says, heat on heat. Simon says, I like the quiz. Ama Ampoma says, go there, James. Nana Kwame Ofori says, team adaptive to the whole Riase. Nana Kwame Ofori says, hey, value for money pa. Audits in Ghana. So, say.
Thank you very much. Keep your comments coming and they will be read for you. Thank you very much for following us. Adaptive, what went wrong?
Even though we didn't start well, but we are hoping for the best.
You are hoping for the best. Expressive, are you in the lead?
So we barely can say that.
You barely can say that. So let's see. Round 2 will be calculation round. And in the round 2, they will be giving questions and they are expected to provide the answers in 30 seconds. At the end of round 1, the marks are... Okay, so whilst the technical team works on it, round 2 will be calculation, where they will be giving questions and they are expected to produce the answers in 30 seconds. A bonus question, you are supposed to present your answer within 5 seconds. Are you ready? Contestants may use their calculators as and when they like, and be very fast in this round. So at the end of round 1, the scores are adaptive had 6 points and expressive had 14 points. Expressive had 14 points, adaptive had 6 points. Okay, so let's zoom into round two. Round two, your major question. This time around, I'm starting from adaptive strategy. Mr. Bright Fuga received the following gifts and wants you to help him with the tax computations. So they are cash from his pastor, 10,000 cedis, cash from old school friends 20,000 cedis, hamper from employment 5,000 cedis, interest from a bank resident in Ghana 1,000 cedis, dividend received from a company he is a shareholder 600 cedis. You are to calculate the taxable gift tax accordingly. So the amounts are cash from pastor 10,000 cedis, cash from old friends 20,000 cedis, hamper from employment 5,000 cedis, interest paid from a bank resident in Ghana 1,000 cedis, dividend received from a company he is a shareholder of 600 cedis. You are to compute the taxable gifts and also the gift tax.
The taxable gift is 30,000, and the tax is 7,500, and the tax on dividends, the tax on the dividend is
So
48.
so he had 2 out of 3. So you had a taxable of 30,000, but the tax should have been 4,500. 25% now. Okay, so that then is correct. If it's 25% now, it's correct. So it's 3 points. The following payments relates to Abisiba Limited for January 2022. So we have rent 2 million cedis. That's residential. Payment of goods to a resident person 1 million cedis. Payment in respect of works 5 million cedis. Payment of dividend to a resident with shareholding of 25% 300,000 cedis. You are to compute the total withholding tax Abisiba Limited for the month of January 2022. So the following items: rent 2 million cedis, that is residential. Payment of goods to a resident person 1 million cedis. Payment in respect of works 5 million cedis. Payment of dividend to a resident with shareholding of 25% 300,000 cedis. You have to compute the total withholding tax of Abisiba Limited for the month of January 2022.
So the taxes 440,000.
That is correct. 440,000 is the correct answer. Adaptive strategy. Your major question. This is a common preamble to all teams. Common preamble. Mr. Collins Awuku values his stock of raw materials at the end of every month using the weighted average method. His raw materials purchase for the month of June was as follows. So we have 5th June, 1,000 kg at 25 cedis per kg. 19th June, 2,500 kilograms at 20 cedis per kilos. Then 28th June, 1,100 kg at 28 cedis per kg. During the same period, Mr. Collins Awuku issued the following quantities of raw materials for factory use. That's 1,300 kg on 20th June and 1,500 kg on 25th June and 1,600 kilograms on 30th June. So I read again. Mr. Collins Awuku values his stock of raw materials at the end of every month using weighted average method. His raw material purchases for the month of June were as follows. So we have 5th June, 1,000 kilograms at 25 cedis per kilo, and 19th June, 2,500 kilograms at 20 cedis per kilo. 28th June, we have 1,100 kilograms at 28 cedis per kilo. During the same period, Mr. Collins Awuku issued the following quantities of raw materials for factory use. So on June 20th, 1,300 kg. On June 25th, 1,500 kg. On June 30th, 1,600 kilograms. Your major question, is it adaptive? Your major question, what is the value of materials issued on June 25th? On 25th June, value of materials issued on 25th June.
Three two 142.
36,500.
That is not correct. Your major question, bonus to Team Expressive.
32,130.
It is 30,000 cedis. Your major question, Expressive, at what price would the closing stock of raw materials at 30th June be valued? At what price would the closing stock of raw materials at 30th June be valued?
$21 cedis.
That is not correct. Bonus to adaptive, Team Adaptive bonus.
24.3.
It is 25.63 cedis per kilo. So your major question, Adaptive, how long will Dorcas Achampon quadruple an amount, given that the interest rate is 25% per annum and is compounded monthly? How long will Dorcas Achampon quadruple an amount, given an interest rate of 25% per annum and is compounding monthly?
Say 2 years. 2.34 years.
No. No, that's not correct. Bonus to Team Expressive.
4.44 years.
In months.
So in months is, so please, in months it will be 4.5 months.
67 months. 67 months. So your major question, how long would Mr. Richmond Eduardo quadruple an amount? How long will he quadruple an amount at a rate of 25% compounding yearly? No, how long will he double an amount at a rate of 25% compounding yearly?
3.1 year.
Double an amount.
Three years.
That is not correct. Bonus. Oh no, sorry, 3 years is correct. 3 years is correct for 3 points. 3 years is correct. So your major question, Adaptive, your major question. You are to determine the price of a 10-year annuity paying 10 cedis each year with opportunity cost of 10%, and also determine the annuity factor. Determine the price of a 10-year annuity paying 10 cedis each year with opportunity cost of 10%, and you are to determine the annuity factor as well.
The annuity factor is 6.145, and the amount is 61.45.
That is correct for 3 points. That is correct for 3 points. Okay, expressive, your major question. A local bank is advertising that it pays depositors 6% compounded monthly, yielding an effective annual rate of 6.168%. If 2,000 cedis is placed in savings now, no withdrawals are made, how much interest will be earned in a year time? A local bank is advertising that it pays depositors 6% compounded monthly, yielding an effective rate of 6.168%. If 2,000 cedis is placed in a savings now and no withdrawals are made, how much interest will be earned in a year time?
123.36.
That is correct. 123.36 cedis is correct for 3 points. Adaptive. The number of people infected with a deadly virus in a locality comprises 5 divisions. So we have A, B, C, D, and E are presented in a pie chart. If 150 infected people are from division B with an angular representation of 60 degrees on the pie chart, what is the population of infected people in the locality? The number of people infected by a deadly virus in a locality comprises 5 divisions, A, B, C, D, and E. In a pie chart, if 150 infected people are from division B with an angular representation of 60 degrees on the pie chart, what is the population of the infected people in the locality?
900 people.
900 people is correct. Team Expressive, your major question. The number of chartered accountants among the graduates of BBA among the graduates of accounting programs from 6 different universities in a particular year are given as 15, 12, 10, 11, 13, 17. What is the mean deviation of this data? The number of chartered accountants among the graduates of accounting programs from 6 different universities in a particular year are given as 15, 12, 10, 11, 13, and 17. What is the mean deviation of the data?
Zero.
It's not 0.
13.
It's not 13. Bonus to adaptive.
2.38.
That is correct. It's 2. Okay, so your major question, adaptive. Find the minimum value of z in the following linear programming. The maximum function is z is equal to 40a plus 50b. Given subject to 3a plus 5b greater or equal to 70 and a plus b greater or equal to 20, where a and b are non-negativity. So find the minimum value of z in the following linear programming. So the function is 40a plus 50b. The subject to 3a plus 5b greater or equal to 70, and we have a plus b greater or equal to 20. A and b are greater or equal to 0.
$850.
850 is correct. 850 is correct. Team Expressive. The total monthly revenue for Osman Enterprise is given by the equation R is equal to 300,000 into bracket 0.5 raised to the power 0.7x, where x is in cedis, x is in thousands. What is the maximum revenue? So the total revenue, monthly revenue of Osma Limited is giving us R is equal to 300,000 into bracket 0.5 raised to the power 0.7x, where x is in thousands and is the amount spent on overheads. What is the maximum revenue of Osma Limited? Bonus to adaptive.
10047.87.
300,000 cities. 300,000 cities. And this brings us to the end of round 2. You are still listening to Radio Winneba 98.3 FM, and the program is the Uewabs Business Challenge, proudly brought to you by the School of Business and the 5 departments in the School of Business, with technical support from Richmond Eduardo, Marcus Oboadetete, Dr. Sachampon, and all the alumni of TBS. Abisiba, do you have anything for us?
Yes, sir. So we have Richmond Edu here said the contest is not for the weak. Is not for the weak. We have team at Expressive here and team at. We also have Emmanuel Aite says Team Expressive go for gold. Nana Kwame Ofori says, can I join the audience at the North Campus? My network is buffering. So please, if you are hanging around and you're a student of University of Education, Winneba, and you are seeing us at the forecourt, please join us so that this program can be interactive. You can also join us on Radio Winneba 98.3 FM. Richmond Edu says, I am Nanaya watching from Tema. These guys are so good. And Nanaba YM says, I can predict today's quiz is going to be adaptive. I know if they will see whether adaptive or expressive is the one taking
Exactly.
it home. So I am Edupoku Ocho watching from Kumasi. Thank you so much for watching. Kweku OJ says, go there, guys. Joseph Donko says, Team Expressive Oja. Richmond Edu Ado says, hey, gift tax. So we pay tax on gift. Yeah, so we pay tax on even sanitary pads. Kelly XL says, big up Radio Winneba. Thank you so much. And big ups to Mr. Collins Kofi Ewuku. He's making this possible with the School of Business. I am Cindy watching from Kaneshi. I am really enjoying the show. Oh, thank you so much. Please, I want some banchi for Ampesie. Banchi Ampesie on Sunday. Aman Poma says, I'm watching live from the South Campus. The boys are good. Thank you. Today, the winner will be determined by Aaron in the last. Is Aaron here? Aaron is not here. Hey, Aaron, you are there. Okay, so your people are rooting for you. So we'll see whether today you help the people cross the Canaan Sea. So Joseph Donko says, Kojo Adams is enjoying the show from Cape Coast. Keep it up, guys. I am Marcelina Adani. I have been following the show, which is very educative and interesting. Please keep it up. Professor Gidi Majo, all the way. Team Adaptive, #Blame. Team Adaptive, do something before you die by Joseph Donko. Blaze says, fire, oh, fire. Please share the link. Share the link. Share the link. Aaron Kwejo Fiati says, born to kill B2K at James. Fire, oh, fire. Kwesi Ezekiel Custodia Sambiru says, Orekodo. James Jasper AB says, I'm watching live under the mango tree. Simon, I see you. Me too, I see you, Pam. So Victoria DC says, my boys are so good. Heat. Blake can do all by Mr. Grill of Fresh. Arthur Celestina say, wow, yes, we are outside here. So if you're hanging around, please join us. I hand over to Mr. Gajo.
Thank you very much. Keep your comments coming. And yes, you can join us here. And thank you all for sending your comments. So we are now zooming into round 3. At the end of round 2, the scores are Team Expressive had 9 points and Team Adaptive had 13 points. 13 points as against 9. So what's happening in round 2 for you, Adaptive?
as we said earlier, we believe that God will crown our effort with success, and then God has started doing.
So they are actually living by their name adaptive, which basically is a strategic, it's a strategic style where you take opportunity, just capitalize on the opportunities in the market. And expressive, you took a comfortable lead, and you were trying to lead by your name. Expressive, that is being proactive. What happened?
Uh, Same place there were small frictions, but we will fix it.
You will fix it. So in round three, they were given a 30-page case study, and they were supposed to work as a team and present one answer. They've presented their answers. They are going to project their answers. It's basically about a company that has been operating since 1970 and is listed on a stock exchange. They deal in electrical appliances, specifically heating, and they export this heating equipment to Europe and other Western world where they require this heating equipment often. So they were given 6 questions in all. The first question was that they were to identify the challenges associated with managing the development of these security devices as a project and recommend suitable responses. Their third question was for them to, the second question, they were to explain the issues that should be considered when determining a suitable transfer price for the secondment of marketing distribution manager for the production and research and development department. The third question was for them to recommend with reasons ways in which the quality issues described in the board minutes could have been avoided, and how the resurgence of such problems can be prevented. The fourth question was for them to identify the accounting problems that will be created by the compensation claims by Frenta and recommend with reasons how they might overcome them. And the fifth question was for them to recommend with reasons a suitable response to the growing conflict between the MD and the research and development managers. And also the last question was for them to explain issues that Frenta should consider when identifying customers and setting the price of security systems, and recommend with justification an appropriate pricing strategy. So I'll start with adaptive. Adaptive. So whilst we await the PowerPoint of adaptive to be projected, you are reminded that this program is brought to you by the School of Business, and we are live on the university website www.uw.edu.gh. Adaptive.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Simon Ahlija, and I'm representing Team Adaptive. And in today's round three, we are asked to present on a case study, and it's about a company which deals in ventilations and heating equipment, and the company's name is Frinta. Frinta is a quoted company. It's a quoted company that manufactures controls for central heating systems and electronic devices that forms the basis for smartphone. It was founded in the year 1970s. And without wasting much time, let's go to the first questions. So the question they asked was that you should identify the challenges associated with managing the development of the security devices as a project and recommend suitable responses. So going through the cases thoroughly with my teams, we identify some of the challenges, and one is the internal conflict. We realized that in the organization there were internal conflict between the research and development department and the marketing department, so they couldn't have an effective communication. This might be because of poor organizational structure or poor communication channels. We also have a high competitive market. So in their industry, there was a very competitive market in the industry. A company like YP Ben is a competitor which is challenging this company. We also have inadequate resources. So in the case we were told that they want to develop a new product, but because of inadequate sensor, they were not able to meet their requirements. Please, let's go to question 2. And the question 2 was that explain the issues to consider when determining a suitable transfer prices for the secondment of marketing. And when they say transfer pricing, it refers to a unit of an organization transferring a product to another unit in an organization at a price. So in determining the selling price of this product, you need to consider certain factors. And one is cost of the production. At what cost did you produce the product that you are transferring to the other unit of this department? You have to consider that the cost of production, and also the level of autonomy. You have to know whether if the company is autonomy, the level of autonomy is high, in the sense that they do everything on their own. They might add extra amount on it, which is the profit, so that they can take care of their activities. And also the motive of the responsibility sector. If the motive is to make profit, they have to add profit margin to the transfer price. The third question is recommend reason ways in which the quality issues described in the board board minutes could have been avoided, and how that recurrence of such problems can be prevented. One, effective communication. So in the first question, I said that one of the challenges they faced was internal conflict. So because of effective communication, because of lack of effective communication, they were not able to collaborate. So there was a conflict among them. Another recommendation is they should collaborate and integrate. So whenever there is an idea in the research and development department to develop a new product, they should collaborate. The other departments should know. The fourth question: identify the accounting problems. What are the accounting problems? One, they might lose they might lose profits, and also they will lose a future sales, and this will also make them lose a competitive advantage. We recommend that they should make a provision for the claim that the claim that they level against them. They should make provision for that, and subsequently they should communicate to the public why they do so, why it has gone this way, so that the public can understand them and they will not lose their public image. Sorry. And the fifth question is recommend with reasons a suitable response to the growing conflict between the senior marketing and distribution and research and development managers. So again, there should be effective communication between them, and also there should be collaboration and integration. Explain the issue that printers should consider when identifying the customers and setting the selling price of the secret. So in selling the selling price, or in identifying their customer, they need to identify the standard of living of the customers first, and also they should identify the specific needs of the customers, and the appropriate pricing strategy they should use is the economic price strategy, or better still, they can use the penetration strategy. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much, Team Adaptive, for your wonderful presentation. So, Team Expressive, it's your turn.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please, I'm James Nano for presenting on behalf of Team Expressive. Okay, we were given a case study to present our solution here. We are talking about a company called Finta. It's into home appliance. I know that all of us, one way or the other, have home appliance in our homes. So I think what we are coming to say here will be interest to anybody. Okay, so with the overview, Finta is a company that it was established in 1970, and as per the calculation, it means it has been in operation for 53 years. So the company is an experienced company. Okay, so the company operates in a very competitive environment, for which its main competitor is YP. its main competitor is one people. So, please the question. So the first question was asked to identify the challenges that are associated with managing the development of security devices, or as a project recommend a suitable response. Okay, so with this, okay, so high competitive markets, inadequate resources. So they are embarking on developing a project for which, per the case study, if you read, there are some resources that they lack as a company, and for which can be a major challenge to them. Because if you don't have the resources, you can't produce, you can't develop a system for which will be adequate for your customers. Also, it operates in an environment that is very competitive. As I mentioned, um, its major competitor. The competitor has already taken the lead in the market. The their competitor is producing goods of high quality and has the highest market share in the market. So that competition is a challenge to them. Also, there is internal conflict. There is internal conflict between their strategic business unit, the head, that's the research and the marketing on some issues. That could also be a challenge to them. So the second one was to determine the issue to consider when setting a transfer price. Please, a transfer price is a price at which a good manufactured by one department of a company is transferred to the other. So the factors that you should consider when setting a transfer price, the first one should be the cost, because before you can even know the price to set, you have to know the cost that has gone in, the cost that has been incurred. So the second one is the motive of the responsibility center. If you are if you're a profit center, it means you exist to make profit. If you're a cost center, it means you don't make profit. So if you're a cost center, there is no need to add some margin to what you have produced. You just transfer at a cost. If you are a profit center, you add something and then transfer. And the second one is the level of autonomy. If the center is autonomous, it means the center takes care of its own expenses. So it means it has to add something to the cost in order to get something to cater for those expenses. But if they are not autonomous and the head company pays their expenses and the rest, they don't have any need to add a profit to the transfer price. Please, the next slide. Okay, so we were to recommend with reasons, ways in which quality issues described by the board in a minute could be avoided, or how the reoccurrence of such problem can be prevented. So the first thing is effective communication. From the case, we could see that there were some discrepancies between the department, because there was no effective or any form of communication between them. So we saw that some people went to the market to sell their goods even without the other department knowing the details of the price. So we recommend that for this thing not to happen again, there should be an effective communication, and also we suggest collaboration and integration. As a company, they have to collaborate so that in each step they know what is going on in any other area, so that they will be peaceful, and it can also increase productivity. So we were to identify the accounting problems that the company is facing. The company has launched a product for which has gone bad in the market and is raising issues for which customers are bringing a whole lot of claim and litigation against the company. So some of the accounting problems that the company is going to face is reduction in profit, because the customers they are laying claims against them. It means the companies will be taking shares of their profit, or they will have to be paying money to these customers. So it's going to reduce their profit. Also, they are going to lose future sales. As the customers are bringing litigation, it means that the customers in future are not going to buy their products again. So it means that they are going to lose future sales and also lose their competitive advantage. They are building in the market to match their competitor. But if these claims goes on, it means that they are going to lose their competitive advantage, and that's going to cause more harm to them. The recommendation we made that since the losses will be coming, they should make provisions for these losses so that these losses will not catch them by surprise, or it will not be unexpected so that it will disrupt their profit. They should make provision for it, And when these losses come, they should use that provision to settle it so that it doesn't cause any disruption in their profit. Also, communication with customers. We know customers, they are human like everybody. If we have effective communication with them, tell them the issue that's going on within the company, someone understand, and future customers will not bring claims against the company. Um, Thank you.
Thank you very much for an excellent presentation. So yes, they both presented their viewpoints on the 6 major questions presented to them. Um, for the question one, I was expecting they did well. They mentioned some of the points there, but I was expecting them to talk about the issue of deciding on the objective of the project that they are having. They didn't. There was no objective of the project. Is it to win customers? Is it to expand your market base? Is it to take up advantage of any of the ANSOF metrics, that is penetration, product penetration, market penetration, or market development, or product development? You didn't mention anything of that nature. Again, I was expecting you to talk about there are issues of the timing of the project. So the timing and the resources of the project was very relevant for you to have mentioned. Aside that, the other points were well mentioned by you. The question two, that is a much more complicated question. In issues of transfer pricing, you need to think about whether you are looking at the market based or the cost based. In this question, you cannot use the market base because they are taking most of the issues from the consultant, that is the managing director. So I was expecting you to say then, first of all, the transfer price is going to be based on the cost base. Now, if it's going to be based on the cost base, then all the things that you mentioned will now come in. The issue of whether the profit markup and all those things will now come in. In the question three, you appropriately mentioned the key issues. About I was expecting you to talk about the issue of the problem of that they should invest more time and money in quality management procedures. You spoke about the communication issue. You spoke about it well, but there was also the need to invest more time and money into quality management, which was visibly missing. Now, with the issue about the accounting problem, there was no major issue. The only issue is that you are an accounting, you are a firm that presents your financial statement according to the International Financial Reporting Standard. There is an issue of provision. So if there is an issue of provision, I was expecting you to say, according to IAS 37, provisions, contingent assets, contingent liability, and provision, they were supposed to make a claim. Adaptive, made mention of the fact that they were supposed to make a provision, but then you didn't mention the standard. For you, you were just talking about expressive. You were talking about general issues, but you mentioned other issues which are not related to my marking scheme anyway. So all in all, you all did well. You had an equal mark of 7.5. The reason is that adaptive, your presentation was a bit not smooth as compared to expressive. They had a smooth presentation. He got in touch with his audience. And the other mark that brought them down was the fact that they didn't mention the issue of provision, which you mentioned. So that brought you at par. So both teams had 7.5 for round 3. Okay, so you are still listening to Radio Windy Bay 98.3 FM, and this is the Uewabs Business Challenge. We are zooming into round 4, and round 4 is made up of 2 sections. Round 4A, that is questions from the business news from on Radio Windy Bay, and I've heard some of the teams wants to make a tactical substitution. So starting from team adaptive. Okay, so adaptive is making a tactical substitution. Expressive will also effect a substitution. Okay, so the candidate from adaptive, can you introduce yourself to us?
Thank you, sir. Please, Fiadupe Success, therefore BBA Accounting Level 300.
I like the slow motion of your name, Fiadufe Success. Therefore, you are welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Expressive.
Painting Matilda Jima, BB Accounting, level 200.
Apentin Matilda Jima, BB Accounting, level 200. Let's see whether level 300 will do the magic or level 200 will do the magic. I'll start from expressive. Expressive, round 4A, business news segments. Farm Milk Limited faced a difficult year in 2021 and 2022. How much did the company record in losses for the year ended 2022? How much did Farm Milk Limited record in losses for the year ended 2022?
4.9 billion Ghana cedis.
That is not correct.
4.9 US dollars.
No. Bonus to adaptive.
They've recorded a loss of 4.3 million Ghana cedis.
41.6 million Ghana cedis. The amount you mentioned was for 2021. So adaptive, your major question. What was the percentage drop in the share price of Farm Milk Limited as a result of the bad financial year they had in 2022?
25%.
That is correct for 3 points. 25% is correct for 3 points. Expressive, your major question. Which month and year did the World Health Organization announce that COVID-19 is no longer a global health emergency? Which month and year did the World Health Organization announce that COVID-19 is no longer a global health emergency?
May 2023.
That is correct for 3 points. Adaptive, by what percentage is SMEs in Ghana's economic activity space? What is the percentage of SMEs economic activity space in Ghana? In percentages.
70%.
That is correct. That is over 70% is correct. Expressive, your major question. How many Ghanaian workers contribute to the SNET? How many Ghanaian workers contribute to SNET?
1.5 million.
1.5 million is correct for 3 points. There is a common preamble to both teams. According to Mr. Robert Benning, the chief learning strategist at Temple Advisory, there are 5 mistakes leaders must avoid when developing strategies. You are to mention any 2 of the 5 mistakes leaders should avoid. So starting from adaptive.
So the first one is a strategy is not in the document. And then the strategy is not for top level management only.
That is correct. So it's not in the document, but it is in the doing. And strategy is not for top management only. So expressive, your 2 points. Your 2 points.
Strategy is not a model, but an objective to pursue. Then strategy is not winning competition, but to attract customers.
That is correct. Strategy is not to beat competition, but to win your customers. And strategy is not a model, but your method is winning. Okay, so your major question, adaptive. What is the year-on-year depreciation of the Ghana cedi to the Great Britain to the pounds in April 2023? Year-on-year depreciation of the Ghana cedi to the British pound in year-on-year 2023.
The answer is 23.5%.
That is not correct. I can see Ofori. Ofori is waiting patiently for the bonus. So expressive bonus.
26.8%.
That is wrong. 25.07%. Your major question. What is the year-on-year depreciation for the Ghana cedi to the US dollar in April 2023? Ghana cedi to the US dollar in April 2023.
42.8%.
It's not 42.8%. Figures na boafra. Adaptive, your major question, your bonus.
24.8%.
Oh, it, if you for that 21.69%. So this is also a common preamble to both school, and that's the last set of questions for the round. An effective enterprise risk management enables business to predict, prepare for, and respond to a wider range of risks, which is fundamental to enhancing resilience. You are to mention any two ways that enterprise risk management contributes to business resilience. So, an enterprise risk management enables business to predict, prepare for, and respond to a wide range of risks, which is fundamental to enhancing resilience. And you are to mention any two ways that enterprise risk management contributes to business resilience. Starting from expressive. Is it adaptive? No, it's expressive.
Okay, so the first one is to develop strategies, and then the second one is to respond to the environment.
That is not correct. Yes, your turn to mention any two.
Risk identification and assessment, and we have scenario planning.
That is correct. So scenario planning, risk identification and assessment, integration of risk management, risk appetite and tolerance, and continuous monitoring and improvement are the correct answers. So that brings us to the end of round 4A. So at the end of round 4A, what success? What have you brought on board?
So I think we are just doing our best to carry the day.
Continue doing your best. Matilda, what have you brought on board?
We are just hoping to do our best.
Is the seat hot?
Yes, very hot.
Anyway, so let's see. We have 2 rounds to go: round 4B and round 4A. Round 4B, and round 5. So at the end of round 4A, the results are Team Expressive had 9 points and Team Adaptive had 12 points. It looks like Adaptive are in a comfortable lead. Will they sustain it? Only time will tell. Round 4B, true or false? I'm starting with Team Adaptive. Your major question. The actual authority in the agency relationship is apparent authority. True or false? The actual authority in agency relationship is apparent authority. True or false?
False.
False is correct. False is correct. Expressive, your major question. The effect of ratification is that the agent is relieved of any liability to the principal for acting beyond authority. The effect of ratification is that the agent is relieved of any liability to the principal for acting beyond authority.
True.
True is correct. Adaptive. Synthetic industry is the classification of business that is concerned with enabling several materials and processing into a single unit. Synthetic industry is the classification of businesses that is concerned with enabling several materials and processing into single units.
True.
Correct. Expressive. The group theory sees organization as unified, purposeful system composed of interrelated parts. The group theory sees organizations as unified, purposeful system composed of interrelated parts.
True.
That is false. That is a system theory. Adaptive. Buyers should focus only on suppliers' physical outputs, never on the supporting inputs, systems, and processes that created the outputs. Buyers should focus only on suppliers' physical outputs, but never on the supporting input systems process that created the outputs.
False.
Correct. Expressive. It is difficult to maintain a trusting and collaborative relationship and receive quality goods and services when suppliers do not enjoy working with the buying organization. It is difficult to maintain a trusting and collaborative relationship and receive quality goods and services when suppliers do not enjoy working with buying organization.
It's true.
That is correct. Adaptive. Marketing is both a set of activities performed by organization and social process. Marketing is both a set of activities performed by organization and social process.
True.
True is correct. Expressive. Macro marketing is a set of activity that directs an economy's flow of goods and services from producers to consumers in a way that effectively match suppliers and demand and accomplishes the objectives of the society. So macro marketing is a set of activity that directs an economy's flow of goods and services from producers to consumers in a way that effectively match supply and demand and accomplishes the objective of the society.
It's true.
True is correct. Adaptive. The purpose of setting up the audit committee is in public companies is to encourage familiarity between the external auditor and the directors of the client's company. The purpose of setting up audit committee in public companies is to encourage familiarity between the external auditor and the directors of the client's company.
False.
False is correct. Expressive. In conducting an audit, the entrance conference is more relevant than the exit conference. In conducting an audit, the entrance conference is more relevant than the exit conference.
It's true.
It's false. Both are relevant. It's false. Adaptive. Employees, no, employees typically become whistleblowers when they feel powerless to prevent an organization from committing unethical acts, or when they fear retribution from the company if they voice their concerns. Employees typically become whistleblowers when they feel powerless to prevent an organization from committing unethical acts, or when they fear retribution from the company if they voice their concerns.
True.
That is correct. And the last question for the round goes to expressive. The terms power and politics often have negative connotations because people associated with them with attempts people associate them with attempts to use organizational resources for one's personal advantage at the expense of the other. The term power and politics often have negative connotations because people associate them with attempts to use organizational resources for one's personal advantage at the expense of others.
True.
That is correct. And that brings us to the end of round 4B. The program is this is the Uewabs Business Challenge, proudly brought to you by the School of Business with technical support from all the 5 departments in the school. And today's contest is between expressive and adaptive strategy. The contest has been very nice and interesting so far. We've enjoyed your comments as well. So Amina is here to give us some of your comments.
Mr. Samuel, thank you so much. So on your Facebook, Radio Winneba 98.3 FM, we are live there. We have Joseph Donko says the success factor is working for Team Adaptive. Victoria Adisi says the success factor is working. Richmond Edu says, I see you, success. Hey, success by Marcus. Aaron Kwejo Fiati says, Matilda Heed, you be ritualist. Osman Moomin is saying that the program is very, very interesting. Richmond Edu says, the seat is hot. So please keep messaging us final round. We read all your messages. Hand over to Mr. Gajo.
Thank you very much. No. So thank you very much. This brings us to the end of round 4B, and we are waiting the last round. At the end of round 4B, Expressive had 6 points, and Adaptive had 12 points. So the contest will be won in the last and final round. The last and final round is the riddle, and I'm going to read out some clues. If you get it on the first clue, 5 points. Second clue, 4 points. Third, fourth, and fifth clue, you get your 3 points. We have 4 riddles in all. So, Adaptive, you can use your calculators, and Expressive, you can use your pen. Okay, so I read riddle number 1. I am a form of marketing focused on creating, publishing, and distributing content for Expressive.
Content marketing.
That is correct. Content marketing is correct for 5 points. Content marketing is correct for 5 points. Riddle number 2. We are instruments of trade protection. We allow countries to better stabilize their economies by limiting inflow and outflow of currencies. One tactic companies use to work around us and to hedge currency exposure is to use what are known as forward contracts. We can be enforced in a few common ways. That is, a government may ban the use of a particular foreign currency and prohibit locals from possessing it. We are government-imposed limitations on the purchase and use of currencies. Who are we? Adaptive.
Fixed exchange rate regime.
No, that is not correct. So you can no longer partake in the opportunities given to Expressive.
A custom union.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is wrong. The correct answer is exchange controls. Exchange controls. Riddle number 3. Clue 1. I am a member of the World Bank Group and headquarters in Washington, D.C. in the USA. 2. I was established in 1988 as an investment insurance facility to encourage confident investment in developing countries. Adaptive.
IBRD.
That is incorrect. You can no longer participate in the radio. So I continue. Number 3, I offer political risk insurance and credit enhancement guarantees which help investors protect foreign direct investments against political and non-commercial risks in developing countries. 4. My guarantees help investors protect foreign direct investments against political and non-commercial risks in developing countries. 5. I am owned and governed by my member states, but have my own executive leadership and staff which carry out my daily activities. Who am I?
International Development Bank.
Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, MIGA. Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, MIGA. That is the correct answer. The last riddle. I am a form of accounting that can be traced to the ancient Egypt where evidence of scribes were found.
Double entry.
No, that is not correct. Double entry is not correct. Adaptive, you can. Expressive, you cannot participate in this again. So where evidence being used by pharaohs to track value items such as gold and grains were found. Very little is known about me until 1817, when the first recorded case of an accountant testifying as an expert witness is noted in the history of the books. 3. Although I am a niche subject Wilson is considered the face of me and the financial superhero. As accounting rules and financial complexities evolved in the late 20th century, the demand for me also increased, especially following the discovery of high-profile accounting scandals such as Enron in 2001. I am a type of accounting that investigates financial information for potential evidence of crimes. Who am I? Success. Say something.
Bookkeeping.
It cannot be bookkeeping. Okay, so for no marks, I think expressive have the answer. Do you have the answer now?
Forensic accounting.
Forensic accounting is the correct answer. Forensic accounting is the correct answer. So that is the end of the competition. Was there any tie? Anyway, so that's the end of the competition. At the end of round five, I think expressive had 5 points and adaptive had 0 points. There is a tie. Okay. Okay, no problem. So listeners, you are still listening to Radio Winneba 98.3 FM. The program is proudly brought to you by School of Business at the South Campus with technical support from the various departments in the School of Business. Amina is here for some more messages.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Gajo. Franklin Awembila says, I'm watching you guys from Afghanistan. Love the show. Joseph Donko says, thank you so much. Yes, sir, we've missed you too much. Calm down, senior. So it's a reply to Franklin Awembila, who is in Afghanistan, watching us live on Facebook or Radio Winneba 98.3 FM. Fredrickson Beglo says, fire, fire, fire. And he comes again to say, are you called to all senior, team expressive and adaptive? Great job, Mr. Gajo and the team, great job. Please don't forget to pass by. We are boiling at Heritage Rest Stop, Uewabs Excellence Award 2023. The success factor is working for the team adaptive by Joseph. He says, I see you, quiz master. Kweku OJ says, good job, guys. M. Gray Ofre says, Blake can do it. Joseph Donko says, team adaptive, the calculation masters. He comes again to say, I am okay. So here she says, I am Frida from Kaswa and I'm really enjoying the show. More fire from team adaptive. Eric says, go there. Team adaptive never say die. Andy says, team adaptive is doing something before you die. We have Kojo Adams also saying, I'm enjoying the show from Cape Coast. Keep it up, guys, 100%. And we have Nanaba also say, team expressive. Oja. We have Kwekuti MJ says, go there, guys. And Oreku Jr. says, watching you live from Kumasi. And we have Aite Emmanuel says, team expressive, go for gold. And we have another one say, Amina, you're looking so beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. Richmond Eduardo says, I have a lot to study. These guys are doing very well. They need our support. Yes, please. So if you want to sponsor the show, we are here. You can come and see our manager, or you go to the University of Education Business School to see Mr. Gajo so that you can sponsor the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So we want more sponsorship. At the end of the competition, ladies and gentlemen, Team Adaptive had 50.5 and Team Expressive had 50.5. We need to break the tie. I'll break the tie. You need a riddle. I'll not give them a riddle. I'll give them a practical question. Okay, so if you know the answer, you hit the table with your pen, expressive, and you hit with your calculator. I am a reason why an accountant who teaches at the university salary is less than Expressive.
Tournament theory.
That is not correct. Adaptive. So I'm a reason why an accountant. I'm a reason why an accountant who lectures at the lecture room gets lesser salary than the accountant who works for a private firm or a bigger organization. I am of the view that those who work wherever there is a relationship, people must be, that is an agency relationship, people must be motivated in order to work in the interest of the organization. Since 1970, when since 1970 when my usage became more prominent, I've been used by most organizations to the extent of increasing the pay grade through equity-based compensation. Who am I, or what am I? In fact, they don't know. The answer is agency cost. Agency cost. So agency cost is the reason why if you are teaching, if you are a teacher and you are a lecturer, your salary, because you are not an agent to anybody. See, those who are working elsewhere, they are agents to the shareholders, and shareholders motivate them well to work in the interest of them. Okay, so the next question. I developed the lemon theory in 1970. I was frustrated by various articles or journal articles when I first presented my ideas to them in 1968 and the early 1969. I was of the view that in the market, there are always two people, those selling the good products and those selling the bad products. In my article, I refer to bad second-hand used cars as lemons. Adaptive.
US lemon laws.
Oh no, it's not US lemon laws. In my article, I came out with three main prepositions, which are information asymmetry, adverse selection, and moral hazard. Who am I? George Akerlof. George Akerlof. I am George Akerlof. I doing. This is unbreakable. Okay. Okay. I'm a method of account. I'm a method of cost accounting. I'm a method of cost accounting. I'm often referred to as the full costing technique. Adaptive.
Absorption costing.
That is correct. Absorption costing is the correct answer. The tie is now broken for 1 point. For 1 point. So at the end of the competition, Expressive had 50.5 points and Adaptive had 51.5 points. It's been a very interesting contest between these two wonderful students. In fact, these 6 wonderful students, that is 3 from Adaptive and 3 from the Expressive unit. You've all done so well. So well. This is the first time we've had a tiebreaker, and the questions were so interesting. So Ofori, how was it?
Say, the contest was very interesting.
Very interested.
Yes, sir.
So what do you have to tell them?
Oh, say, they've really done well. They've been good competitors from the start, and I encourage them to do more as we also do more.
I have an information that he said if they had won, he would have said killers go see killers and
Killers go run.
Adaptive. What are your impressions?
Right now, the killer killed the blue man.
The killer is the blue man.
The killer killed the blue man.
Interesting, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of the competition. We want to say a very big thanks to the technical team led by Mr. Collins Awuku, who is the executive director and producer for this beautiful setup. Mr. Osman Mumin, Mr. Andrew Akuamon, Mr. Ibrahim Sisa, Mr. Yimado Kwabite, Mr. Benedict Kofitachi, Miss Abisiba Anan, DJ Maestro. And also want to say a very big thanks to the TBSA alumni, namely Aaron Owusu, Gilly Babli Ku, Thomas TMT, Che Bafo, Celestine Esi Ajayi, Samuel Maunyo Sovon, Richmond Edu Ado, Seth Ashigbi, Marcus Obuade Tete, and our one and only Rebecca Ba, who is now on the flight to Australia to pursue her second degree in purchasing and procurement. So, well, until we meet next time, we say bye bye. This has been your quiz master, Sami Gajo, aka Astra, aka Gidimajo, aka the man who loves academic battle. Bye bye. Hey, you guys gave me tough time today.